This meeting is now called to order. My name is Elaine Apatang Butts. I'm the co-chair of the CNC committee. And with me here tonight is Peter Sumsich. He's also co-chair. Kathleen Bodak, she's our secretary. Councillor Tabor, he's our representative. Hi, Sergeant Hood.
How you doing?
Hi.
And next to me, I have Will Gatchell. And Sergeant Hood, as you heard, just walked in. And with us as well is Assistant Fire Chief Jonay. And we will start off, thank you again for joining us tonight. We'll start off by asking if any of the residents that are here have any comments before we go into the NNO.
Elaine, can we have people introduce themselves?
Yes,
Ooh.
since we have a small group, that would
Yeah,
be great.
yeah.
Please speak into the microphone. We'll
Sure.
start with you, Carol.
Thank you for saying that, too.
Yes.
I'm Carol Rensselaer, and I live at Spinnaker Point.
I'm Joan Cohen. I have just moved to Spinnaker Point, and I'm looking forward to being involved in my new community.
Right.
You're welcome.
I'm Lindsay Mead, and I live in Panaway Manor.
Yes.
I'm Mike Leonza, and I live in Bursum Gardens.
Great. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. And we're going to start with the NNO presentation. Can you just pull up the picture? Really, we just wanted to thank you again for coming and let you know that there are 17 neighborhoods that signed up for this year's NNO. And as we mentioned in the survey that I sent out, and I believe for Spinnaker, it may have been, is it Grace or Gail rather?
Gail.
Gail that fills out the survey. We let everybody know that because the neighborhoods chose to have the 17 parties instead of the centralized parties, the scheduling is going to be very different from last year. And Sergeant Hood prepared the scheduling for us. It's still in the works, right?
It's yeah, it's pretty much set. I think a conversation needs to have with the fire department and
Yes.
DPW for, if they accept what I put. I mean, there's not much to it, and I'm happy to share it. I brought a few copies. It's a draft, but essentially, I put out specifically what we have. We have 2 canine officers, and I expect that, most, unit, the canines, the crime scene van, the motorcycles, they're gonna visit 3 neighborhoods within the 2-hour period. The drone van, because there's stuff to take out and put back in, and they're just gonna visit 2 neighborhoods. And we do have the CERT team, the Bearcat. They're only going to visit 1 neighborhood because they have to visit all the others. So, I broke it down so that, each one visits a neighborhood, and I have them specifically outlined. And then in the blanks, I just put fire department and DPW. And if you guys, I know in years past I've spoken with, your chief, and he said it was difficult to actually schedule in. And I'll give it to you to do what you can. And I know the concern is that, bunching, and I don't know if we can completely avoid that, but at least it's a guideline, and, do the best you can.
Yeah. So for us, we basically just go ahead and we make a game day decision, and we will bring on additional staffing for that time period for the event. So it gives us a couple of extra trucks, so that way if we do have any calls or incidents in the city, we can respond to them appropriately and still maintain our services as needed. So we will have 2 additional vehicles on the road. So we break them up geographically by our station districts, and we send staff out there, and we try to assign usually 3 to 4 locations per station.
Okay. And will you work off the schedule again that Brian?
Yeah, I'll have the neighborhood list, and then that morning we'll break it out between the different stations.
And we have requested that the fire and police stay in contact with me so that I can let the neighborhoods know how it's going. One of the reasons why the proposal for the centralized event was proposed was because there were some complaints about first responders not making it to all the events, to all the neighborhoods rather. So that's why it was proposed. But again, as you guys know, it was shot down. So we're gonna do it this way. And if you guys have any questions about what it is that what it is that you guys expect.
Elaine, could we have the lady introduce herself that came?
Hi.
Hi, I'm so sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
I'm Jerry. I am from Islington Creek.
Oh, okay. Hi,
Great,
Jerry.
okay.
Nice
Thank
to
you.
meet
Nice to see you, Jerry.
meet you.
over here.
Yes, please join us.
Yeah.
I'll have you sign up.
And I was just going to say, correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
Elaine, but obviously, and everybody should know that because Elaine's been trying to match everything up here, but the thing is, when we have so many more neighborhoods
Yes,
that we
of
can
course.
handle multiple times with multiple people, it's not realistic to promise that because they try, but and the other thing with the centralized one where we had we had pushback because people like their local neighborhood parties.
It's a
And
cherished tradition.
Going to some other neighborhood just to be in a central location where more than one of these units will show up is just not attractive enough for them to get away from their block parties or something.
Yes.
So that's the conflict we have here. So we tried to do the best we could. Elaine tried to do the best she could with this. And just so you know, we're aware of these conflicts, but I think our feeling was if a neighborhood wants to stay with their neighborhood, that should be a big priority.
Yeah, and
Listen,
to your
go ahead.
point, I think, the term that was thrown around is managed expectations.
Yes.
And I feel quite confident. I know for a fact that every neighborhood is going to see a police officer in some capacity. And I think the fire department could probably say that they're probably going to see some capacity of the fire department. I'm sure the DPW is going to hold up their bargain. And I think where it gets stretched thin, and I don't want to speak for the councilors or city officials, but 18 neighborhoods for them and people want to talk, that's probably where
We've been all polled as to which ones we're going to go to, and city manager's assistant is going to get us all
Yes.
straightened out.
And the schedule. I mean, the schedule is going to be more internally. Like Elaine, I don't expect that we're going to disseminate the schedule to the neighborhood heads or
Yes.
whatnot. I mean, I suppose
we're
you
not.
can, but I just don't want anybody to to post it or expect that this is going to be exact. This is more
agree.
of something for us to work off of.
Yes.
So the fire department can see, hey, this is what we're doing. If they want to say, hey, we're going to do our own thing, or you can be like, oh, it's just to kind of help us, sort out. If you're going to, schedule a neighborhood or whatnot, that you can kind of get, a better picture. And, aside from the assignments and we're going to have the patrol cars, going around. That's in addition to, the people who are blocked off for certain events. And then we're going to have, other officers as well. So I think it'll work out. But that being said, 18 neighborhoods, it's a lot. We'll get it done, but, there might be
17 confirmed. We might have one more
Oh, yes.
join
Yeah,
us,
that's
yes.
right, yeah.
But he's right. One of the reasons why we sent out that survey to everyone was to get a feel of what everybody wanted, the centralized or the cherished neighborhood tradition, and of course that went out. So everybody said that they will be okay and supportive of what the first responders can do and what city councilors can do. So we're happy to hear that. And really, one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you guys to this meeting was so that you can also meet each other. And with that, could we have you introduce yourself again, and then we'll have Colleen speak into the microphone?
I'm Jerry Gaeta. I live in Islington Creek. Karina has typically been the person organizing Islington Creek, so I'm trying to step in and help her out this year.
Yes, thank you. And Colleen?
I'm Colleen Oveka. I live over in Maple Haven, and Elaine has been kind of coordinating ours the last couple of years, and she's now taking a step. I don't know if it's a step back or a step to the side to go to all the neighborhoods.
Yes.
So there's a new group working on it this year.
And both Maple Haven and Panaway used to throw their own parties, but for some reason they stopped doing it the last several years. But now they're back, and we're very excited to have you guys join us. Okay?
Wow, you all are going to have a really busy day.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Yes, we are.
That's
Now-
a lot of
And I
neighborhoods.
think we might be inaugurating the sidewalks in Panaway Manor.
Now, when I
Let's not talk sidewalks.
yes. Yes.
Touchy subject.
Touchy subject.
So one of the things that we asked in the registration form that we sent out was to include a number of the kids and adults that would be attending. And I know that for Maple Haven and Panaway, and for your street and yours as well, that you guys have a number of kids joining. So that's going to be wonderful. Yes, and another thing is, of course, the delivery of the recycle and trash cans and the road barriers. Now, those will be delivered by DPW. Peter Rice couldn't make it tonight. He sends his regards. But they will be delivering it beginning in the morning. I'm not quite sure yet what time it'll start, but they do have the locations of where you want your road barriers, if you need them, and your trash and recycle bins. So that's going to be happening that day. And you can, if for some reason the deliveries haven't been made by the time 4 o'clock rolls around, you can text me and let me know, and then I can reach out to them. But generally, in my experience, everybody has worked really hard and really well to accommodate all of the neighborhoods, all of the parties. So I'm really happy for that. Okay. Is there anything that you want to add, Fire Chief, Assistant Fire Chief?
No, I think, again, we'll do our best to divide up our time and
Okay.
reach all the neighborhoods at some point. You know, we always seem to catch that one just as they're starting to wrap up at about 7:30, but we do try to keep getting around and hit all the neighborhoods throughout the course of the evening.
Okay.
No speeding.
What was that?
No speeding.
Oh, no
Speeding to
that's
get
right.
there.
Sergeant
But if you
Hood?
put on the lights, it's exciting, you know, and
Well,
the
you
kids would
could-
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and I think it's gonna be a good event, and you know, I'll be in touch with the fire department and DPW and
Okay.
Elaine, and we'll make sure they have the schedule.
Okay.
So.
Sure.
You know, what the beauty of this is too, is that not only do we get to meet people like you and the
Yes.
people that serve us, but just forming community in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And it's such a challenge sometimes nowadays. So we've decided that we're going to go around to all the newcomers and invite them
Wow.
Oh,
individually.
That's exactly what it's
Specifically
about.
reach
I'm
out
yeah.
to them.
we don't know what's going to
Yeah.
be the response, but just to make them feel more welcomed, because everybody's so busy nowadays. They're on their tech and they're. We'll see what happens.
That's exactly what this event is about. It's about
Yes.
bringing the community together, and of course, having all our first responders, as much as they can, join us and get to know each other. That's what it's all about.
And when we met with Sergeant Hood, and thank you for doing this.
Yes.
This is-
Yeah.
I don't know how many years you've done this now, but
This is my second year.
Yes, it is.
Good job.
Thank you for mentioning that.
we felt it was really important that everybody be able to walk to their neighborhood party,
Yeah.
not get
Yes,
in a car.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the essence
Yeah.
of it, is you step out your front door, or your kids step out their front door. And,
That was one of the reasons why Colleen wanted to bring their party back to Maple Haven, to the park, Maple Haven Park, was because they could walk right to the park.
Yeah.
We have the perfect spot for it. Might as well utilize it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
John, to your point, in my neighborhood, we have Betty's Dream is connected to our loop, and it's a housing facility for disabled people, and to have it locally in our immediate block allows them access. And apparently, they've had some staffing changes recently. They had a facilitator of barbecues and events that is no longer there, and so they're really looking forward to being able to come out, and it's great to connect with them because a lot of them are fairly housebound, and so they really look forward to it. So it's a really nice opportunity to see it.
So Elaine and I have had conversations about this whole thing, and I think Elaine's done a great job in getting this going. But I think to underscore what you were saying, Carol, we see this not just as a night out about the police department or the fire department, but it's a vehicle for us to build communities and to feel a part of the community. And it's important for a lot of reasons, personally, emotionally, others, but it's also important for the communities to be able to know what's going on in town and see if there's something that impacts your community. And then now you have other friends that you've met and you know them, and you can exchange ideas, what you'd like your community to look like, or whether it's a speed bump or it's a development or anything happening there. I think it's important it's important to build that community there so that when something's come up and you'd like to ask the city for something, or the city wants to ask you for something, that there's a community there. And this is a vehicle that helps us do that.
Well, one of the things that works too now at Spinnaker is that because it is a condominium association, we have a mailroom with bulletin boards. And, you know, the library, we have the most amazing library.
Yes, we do.
And they do so many things, and they always put out their monthly flyer about what's
yeah.
going on. So I thought, well, why not get a whole bunch of these, put them on the table, put one up actually on the bulletin board. Then I thought, okay, put on stuff, what does Gather need? You know, Gather.
Right,
Right.
yes.
And also crossroads, because people are busy.
Yep.
But if maybe they can just glance there, they can get the information. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd put a lot more stuff, but I have to be careful too. But, I mean, we live in an amazing city.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we do. Mike, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, I think what we've done the last few years, which has been really good, is just to go out and flyer personally. Like our neighborhood allows that, at least it's like space-wise. So get the kids and just wheelbarrow around the whole neighborhood and hit every single house, and basically make a flyer that just says, "Don't throw me away."
Great idea.
That's pretty clever. I like that.
That's great.
Let your mailman know, because we got a little slap on the wrist the first time we did it. After stuff in mailboxes.
Yes.
and
You're not
without-
supposed to
without-
put it
without
into the
us-
mailboxes.
Yeah.
Wheelbarrow. A lot of clever places where you can stick it, though, near the mailbox. So you can find the mailbox.
That's what I did. That's what I did for 2 years. I walked Ocean Road, their neighborhood, Maple Haven. Where does your dad live? Nathaniel?
That's still Maple Haven.
Okay, but it's on
Yeah.
on Nathaniel. I walked all the way up and down, and I did that for a couple of years. I'm kind of glad I'm not doing it this year, but yeah, you do get to meet people that way.
Yeah, and I think managing expectations is I don't know,
Yeah.
in our, it didn't happen for a while in our neighborhood, I think before like a younger crew came in and started having little kids again. So now it's kind of had a
It's
new
happening.
life.
Yeah.
And so the way it's always been is, I don't know, the last 5 or 6 years, it's been 1 or 2 vehicles come through, and if more come, that's great. If one year one came and no one cared, it was great. The kids loved the one thing that came. So
Yes,
I think for you guys, like maybe I think some neighborhoods would put a lot of pressure that there needs to be every single thing, but I don't know. In our neighborhood, it's always been like, we just hope
Yeah.
a few things come through. And,
I removed that from the registration. Like, what do you want us to bring?
Yeah.
What do you want the first responders to bring? We removed that because, again, it was putting, like you said, pressure on them. It's really about just seeing them when they can come.
Yeah.
And again, they do a great job, as you guys know.
Yeah, and I looked at last year's schedule, and I made sure that if somebody got a canine last year, they're not going to get a canine this year. They're going to get something else.
Yes, and that's
we had a
fair.
dump truck come there, and it
That's
was the
fair.
kids' favorite thing.
Yeah.
Brand new dump truck, the garbage truck. It was like everybody loved it. So
It has a horn. They love it.
Right.
big and it has a horn. Doesn't matter. Yeah.
Now, Lindsay, for Panaway, you guys have more kids.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
little
Oh, yeah.
kids.
There's a
Okay.
lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they must be excited that you're bringing the party back.
I think they will
to
be,
Panaway. Awesome.
Are you doing it at the playground there?
We are, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have party bags too for kids.
Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lori, how you
This is
doing?
Lori, CNC member as well.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late.
So, does anybody else have anything to add about the NNO?
I just want to know what the procedure is, or how quickly you let people know about weather related.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. I have on my notes here that we'll keep an eye on the weather,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Last year, I thought it was Larry's decision, and then he called me and he was like, he's like, I'll let you decide, and I'm like, it left him. Anyways, it was good weather.
Yes, it was good.
We lucked
You rated
out.
the very
I know
end.
this year that it's, unless somebody wants to make the decision. But I think, Lane,
Well-
you and I will be in touch, and
Yeah.
we'll both look
make
at
it
that,
together.
and we'll make that decision together.
Yes. So the rain date is, with that said, August, the following week, the next Tuesday.
Right.
But let's hope that it happens on this day.
All the rain is already falling for the summer.
Right.
We don't need any
We've
more.
had enough of it.
Yes.
We're done.
Yeah.
Oh, were you saying? I'm good. So, that is it for the NNO. If, unless anybody else, again, wants to add anything else, you can please stay for the rest of the meeting. We just have a couple more things to cover. Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you could show the picture, go here, go left, or he said you could just scroll. Great.
I am making a mistake.
So that's
Elaine,
the,
you're all set with me?
yes, I
Okay,
am. Thank you
so-
so much, Sergeant Wood, for all your hard work.
Thank you. And, we'll be in touch about the
Yes.
schedule. And,
Yes. I'll talk to you later.
got it.
And Assistant Chief Janay, are you going to stay, or?
I am gonna step out
Okay.
as well.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
We'll see you at 5.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was.
We'll see you at 5.
All right, sounds good.
I just want to show you.
They can't, no, they
So
can't really
this is
early.
I created this flyer from just some of the neighbors that participated last year.
Nice.
And some couldn't share pictures, which was fine. But it's on the Citywide Neighborhood Committee
That was nice.
page. So if you guys want to share that with your friends, your neighbors, please do. Would really appreciate it. And then next year, we'll have everybody's pictures from this table here for the next event. Okay? So next up, just an update on the historic plaque program.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, Mike. Nice to meet you. See you later. So the website is live under the PNH 400 Legacy Projects tab, and this is for any resident of Portsmouth who might be interested in getting a historic plaque for their house that will show the 1623 to 2023 History Lights Our Way a tagline. And again, these plaques are $250 for a small plaque and $275 for a large plaque. But the PNH 400 will be giving $50 towards each plaque if anybody's interested in the plaque. And again, just go to their website to review all the information. There are two seminars on how to do a history search on your home. And the first one is going to be on July 19th, Wednesday, at the Portsmouth Athenaeum. That begins at 6 p.m. And please come. It'll be really very interesting. Okay? And then on the 25th at the Portsmouth Library, that begins at 7. And even if maybe you're not necessarily interested for your building, you can still come and just learn.
Thank you.
Okay?
So Elaine,
Yes.
just can I repeat what I know about this program, just make sure I understand? Basically, anybody with any house
Yes.
that you want to have researched that's history, you can do that through the Athenaeum
That's right.
and,
In the library.
in the library, and
the
you can, and you can get one of these plaques
Yes.
that certifies your history, so to speak, for that house.
And of course,
So- Some houses obviously have more. No, you're not going to get any history from anybody.
Exactly. I was
It's
gonna
just
say
the
that.
history that you have.
yeah. Yes,
But
from,
everybody could do that to their house, even as just a little project to see if I can trace back how long this house was.
So,
pretty
do they go
interesting.
current too? Like even the last 25 years or?
yes.
I believe so.
Any-
yeah.
any
So every
house.
house has gone
Every
into
house,
the.
yeah.
Athenaeum.
Because as we said, as Talia said, your home is going to be historic in 50 years. I mean,
That's right.
Will had expressed looking into the history of your home. So if it's something that you're still interested in doing, you can attend one of these
Just because it's
seminars.
50 years old doesn't mean it's historically insignificant. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, right.
There might
Exactly.
have been somebody
exactly.
interesting who lived in the house.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
before,
Yes.
because you can note that on there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even the homes in Maple Haven, that were built in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what Sarah had said.
I think most of them started in the 60s. There were
Okay,
a couple
okay.
before that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So even Maple Haven has that. Okay. And Panaway.
We bought from an original owner, so
Okay.
we know our history.
Great.
Do you know if there'll be handouts or something available on the website? So if somebody can go to one, because there'll be different information available at the library from what will be available at the
Yes.
Athenaeum. And if one person can go to one but can't go to the other, would there be
Yes.
information available?
Yes, the library has a ton, from what I understand, the library will also have a ton of information, but if for some reason someone has to be redirected to the Athenaeum, they will do that. And I think people will find that, yes, maybe it's overwhelming, but with the help of the people at the library and at the Athenaeum, you guys will probably enjoy it. I know, of course, I'll be there, and I'm excited to see everybody there.
And the Athenaeum will show people where things are, so where you can go to get those
Absolutely.
books. You know, that there's some books from the 1940s and things where you can find a lot of information about what people in the house did for a living, and maybe there's a change of address or things like that. And then they can show you other places you can go for real research.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, Kathleen's association, Fosse,
Friends of the
Mary
South End.
Thomas, yeah, they were really instrumental in bringing this program back to life. So thank you, thank Mary.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
The Finding Your House Roots program.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Now, this is not on the agenda, but, and it's not on there, but the other night, myself and Kathleen and Councillor Tabor attended the Community Police Facility meeting, which we found very interesting. So we won't dive into it very deep here, but I encourage all of you guys to take a look at the presentation that is on the DPW website. You'll find it under the police Community Police Facility link. So please take a look at it and also watch the video. Okay, the information is really interesting, and I think once residents really hear more about it, they'll definitely be more interested in speaking up. Okay.
Elaine, can you just say something about that? Because I haven't looked at that
Okay.
yet, but I saw your message.
Yes. yeah.
And
If I may
from
ask.
the message, and I wasn't attending,
Okay.
I didn't understand at all what it's about.
If I may ask, John, could you please speak to it?
Yeah, this is a major capital project for the city. The police have never had a building designed to be a police station. They're in a hospital, a former hospital now. They were in a former jail before that on Penhallow Street.
That was a former hospital.
And
I didn't know that.
there's a lack of space, and more to the point, the space they have is not workable for modern police methods. And so I think what you'll see in the presentation is all of the pain points of the current facility when it comes to the substandard evidence storage, when it
Yeah.
comes to the lack of a secure parking lot with fencing, when it comes to
The introduction of a potential felon into the building, into a safe place so other people in the building are not
Right.
encountering that person.
prisoners have to be led through various work areas with cubicles and things.
Oh, my.
They're trying to create a flowing station, which, you
What's the
know,
timeline on the plans for that, John?
The next steps will be this fall, we'll evaluate sites. One site is doing an extensive demolition of the current building, but that obviously means we'd have to have swing space to operate a. And then the other sites are in the presentation.
They've identified 7 sites
yes, and
that have potential to them.
Right. And unlike fire, police can be elsewhere in the city because patrol and detectives are always out in the city, and can be directed by radio.
yes.
So are all the sites that they're picking to be rebuilt, so it's going to be starting from scratch, or are they
Except
choosing
if we
some that are
renovate.
buildings already?
Yeah, except if we renovate the current.
Yeah, if they renovate here, then of course, they won't be building from the bottom up. But as Kathleen said, there are 7 sites that they named, and mostly the ball field areas.
They want them to
Right,
be
and the
city-owned
Sherburne
sites.
School.
So they
Oh, so
they want
most of them don't have buildings on it?
No.
Correct.
Oh,
I
okay.
think only 2 have buildings on them, right?
School, and know
Sherburne
what the sites
has a
were.
building on it.
Sherburne, yeah.
And
So I have Cloud Drive.
That's
by
by the
Little
school.
Harbor.
Right,
Yeah. The Wentworth Field on Granite Street.
Yeah.
The Hislop Field over by Preble Way,
Atlantic.
the Lister Academy area.
Yep.
And then over by Parrott Avenue, and that's the
Parking lots.
smallest,
The
that's
two
the
parking
smallest lot.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, so
in
those
that-
are the 7 locations.
In that park, too, the one with the kids, you know, with the swings and everything, is that what the
No, it'd be,
Parrot?
it'd be in the
Parrot
parking lot.
Ave?
There's what they call the lower lot in the, behind here, there's a
Oh,
lower lot.
There is.
Like where
Yeah.
they park them.
And then also where the market goes, that's another site, right, where the farmer's market is?
No, it's the one below that.
It's
The
below
parking
it,
lot
yeah.
below that.
The big one in the back, where.
Yeah, the farmers
Yeah.
is like right by the police and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
and everything else.
Some of those would require a first floor parking facility, which adds cost. So, you know,
Yeah.
they've got a matrix to evaluate the sites, and they'll come to the city council, and it'll be, you know, which site will be a city council policy decision, you know.
This is only the very first meeting.
This is the
So
first
you'll-
meeting.
And the city, you'll
Yes.
see as living here, that the city goes through a lot of processes and always offer time for the people to come in and make
Yes.
suggestions or have questions or whatever, you know,
Right.
so.
It's in the capital budget for the next, for 24, 25 for construction, I think, for $38 million.
Yes, 38 million.
I certainly hope it goes through.
There's definitely a need. I mean,
Yeah.
the need
Such a
for
need.
a
Such a need.
decent
Yeah.
police facility that supports modern-day policing, where
Yeah.
we add social workers, where we try and counsel victims, where we have decompression areas for police officers, because their work is stressful, where we have, you know, proper facilities for women, for locker rooms and showers and things like that. What used to be at 99% male.
Yeah, of course.
Even talking about the amount of space used just for bathrooms alone.
Yep.
You have male and female bathrooms rather than just having stalls, you know what I mean? Independent private stalls, saving huge amounts of money on plumbing and.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've upgraded all our schools, high school, middle school, elementary schools, or they're getting repaired, and and we have the new fire stations, so down at Station 2, so, you know,
It's time.
every 50
It
or
is
70
time.
years,
Yeah.
you have to make a capital investment.
And they've been here, is it 50 years that they've been, or this building has been? This.
No, they recently moved to that building, but it was in another building, wasn't
was
it
in
recently?
Penhallow
Because when I
Street,
moved
which
here,
is even more dingy.
Little,
and-
yeah, right,
yeah,
right.
it was another building, and I didn't really know where it was.
Across from
at that
Series
point. I
Bakery.
had just moved here.
Across from Series Bakery, it was. Mhm.
Oh,
And
that's.
there'll be a lot of conversation about it.
Absolutely, I think so. Okay, Will, did you have something besides that you wanted to talk
No,
about?
I just wanted to mention the fact that with the neighborhood night out, you know, communities or, you know, micro communities like Betty's Dream are really able to attend, and the bigger, the potential for fewer larger events would make it more difficult for groups like, you know, those who are disabled to be able to
Good point.
participate. And like I said, they, I guess that they've lost a person who was organizing a lot of events recently, and so things like the NNO are now kind of singular, really important, you know,
Okay.
activities for them.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So I think that's it for the evening, guys. The next CNC public meeting is on Thursday, August 17th, same place, same time. And the next ward forum is still TBD. It's Ward 5, right, Lori?
Yeah, it's Ward 5. We're aiming for the beginning
fall.
of November sometime, and we're not really sure. We just need to get everybody on board with it. So, so most people have responded, and we're just waiting for a couple more.
Okay. All right.
It's all in the works.
So it's an election year, so you got to watch out that election day in November.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. All right, everybody.
in good
Well,
hands.
Thank you so much.
thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful NNO event. If you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. I'll be happy to try and help. And we'll see you at the neighborhood party.
Yes.
See you at the
Okay.
neighborhood.
Okay, and with that-